Oh, hello.
Hello.
Welcome, everybody, to Art First. It is good to see you. Happy Friday, Brian. Bright spot of my week. I just look forward to these things when we do. It's good to see you, buddy.
Same.
Hey.
It's great to see you too. Happy Friday.
Thank you.
It's been, how long has it been since our last show? A week or two?
Week and a half, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Things are
It's
moving.
been an interesting time. The market's crashing, but lots of our artist friends are having sellout drops. So, it's all ups and downs. But I do think, I don't know, summertime vibes are always weird because everything always kind of slows down.
Yeah.
But it gives us a little time to breathe and look at what people are making a little easier.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of really awesome stuff coming out.
There has. I look less at the charts and more at the arts, and that's been my summer motto.
Sell that as a shirt.
Yeah, there it is. We got our first Art First shirt coming there. There it is. I don't know. I'm very appreciative. I recently sold out my collection, the Conversation Starters. Thank you. I was very excited to have that happen. I didn't see it coming. So G Pebbles was the last person to scoop a bunch, and then some things have been moving on secondary. So thank you to everybody out there. I really appreciate that, and all the love I've been getting on the new stuff I've just been making for fun. So
yeah, those portrait pieces are looking really, really cool.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm having a ton of fun experimenting. But speaking of experimenting, I'm psyched for our guest today because our guest is wildly talented and sort of falls into that generative creative coding glitch artist, but also all around just like maker of stuff and really cool things. So I don't know. I'm just excited to chop it up because again, I get even more excited when we talk to artists who do things that I don't do. I don't know how to do. And so he definitely falls into that category. So everybody, welcome to the show, Phraze. Hello.
Hey. Oh, hold the applause, please. Unbelievable. I'm happy.
Yeah. Good to see you.
It was a nice effect. I didn't feel it coming. I feel like video audience. It was great.
Oh no, it's great to have you, man. And yeah, you're a tough one to describe, though. I feel like you've been making stuff in the space sometimes as yourself, sometimes as a part of things like Proof, and you're kind of I don't know, you manifest things into reality, and I think that's more than just being an artist. It's also there's a production element to it that you're really good at as well, and a marketing element.
I appreciate it. Brian, I think however you would classify yourself, like every time I look up whatever new thing you're dropping, you have a really good way at tapping into commentary. The card packs that you just dropped, like utterly brilliant. The fact, like, I know how much time things like that take to put together, and just to do it like as a thing to release is mind blowing to me every time. Like to watch your output, to watch artists like Modest's output, like I don't know, man. I'm deeply inspired by this space. It's been fun to be here. It feels like a nice island of misfit toys. So the fact that I don't know if I feel hard to pin down to any one thing, it's because like I keep falling in love with new processes or experiences and ways of doing things and want to experiment. So
yeah,
and I feel like this space celebrates that more than any industry or anywhere else I've ever played around and tinkered with projects.
It definitely has more runway to do that here. That's sort of like staying in your lane helps a little bit for recognition, but then there's an understanding that for the most part it feels like artists are given a latitude here to play more so than other spaces, and you're like, oh, I don't know what they're doing, but I like them already and they're doing something kind of new and different. So
it's a infinite sandbox right now. And I think it's really fun to see like which directions you can push into. It's hard. It's hard to be as a classifying an artist. Yeah, like you said, it's really hard to do right now because everyone's kind of mixed media, mixed technology at the same time.
I think people forget that like most artists that are known throughout history didn't start with the thing they're known for, right? And but most people along the way didn't, on a global scale, have eyes on what they were doing. they would do something and fail, and like 12 people would see it. They'd do something and fail, and 100 people would see it. And eventually, usually when they died, they became successful, and people know what they're known for. We're all doing this in real time, making new stuff, sometimes selling it, sometimes not selling it, but just like people get to see the sausage being made constantly. So that's kind of a new dynamic, I think, that's been fun to be a part of.
Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't agree more. I mean, it's the magic of the space. We live in such an interesting time. I think we're grateful. I'm grateful to be here. And even though this space is still figuring out like its grammar and the kind of, I don't know, the shape of itself, that exploration phase to me is the most interesting. Like we're just figuring out like the boundary. It's like we're all in a dark room and we're fumbling around, bumping into the walls, trying to figure out the shape of it. And that, I don't know, it's fun to be a part, like even contribute just a little. Like I don't think for a second any one artist is going to define the whole thing. Like there's certainly some like standout stars, but to contribute a verse to like this space feels like a special moment in time. So, just happy to be here and tinker and explore.
Let's take a look at some of the things you've been tinkering with and exploring. Like, so this is your website, which anyone can go to. We'll have links to everything we showed today. But I know that there's there's pieces like this piece here. Which
I know. I need. No, it's that. It's only on Twitter that I need that. It's that. Yes,
it's okay. I got it for you. I got you. Yeah. I love the title. Please, just 5 more minutes. And as a dad, I can very much appreciate that sentiment.
I've been super nostalgic. My kids are 7 and 8, and this was actually, I was just tinkering around with Touch Designer, trying to figure. I don't know how to use Touch Designer really, but you don't have to know how to use anything anymore. And I was talking with my friend the other day, and I was like, "Hey, how did you do that thing?" He's like, "I don't know. I just built it." And it's like, okay, like you don't have to know. But this, I was just playing around with the shader that I had built for Satari, another project that we'll get to, and throwing random clips in. And at one point, just kind of realized like, oh, there's kind of a story to tell here. Like I was just throwing clips from my kids in, and was like, hold on, there's kind of a narrative here, and they say the days are long, but the years are short. And that's very true. Anyone with kids, I think, knows how just blisteringly fast the time goes. And I just assembling clips on here found myself in a place where it was like, oh man, like I was sad because my kids aren't this little anymore. Right. And even though it's 1 or 2 chapters out of this, it was like, so this piece was very much for me, and the double meaning of the title. I can't be the first one to do that. I'm sure others have in the past, but it's it's something. We also don't share our kids like online, their faces or anything like that. So this was like a nice way to share, kind of get to the moment, like extract everything except for the moment itself. And I think something about that was kind of universally appealing to people, where they could put either their kids or themselves in it. And these kind of iconic moments that there's 1,000 of them. But to be able to put yourself in it and to see it all in a highlight reel like that, just kind of hit in the way I wanted it to hit. So, yeah,
sure, and on a different level for you, especially because it's you're the author of the clips, right? This isn't just generative AI. This is your life.
That's right.
The meaning is so much stronger. But as as a dad and former kid, I can appreciate this on a lot of different levels too. How so Touch Designer, I also don't use Touch Designer, but less so than you, because I literally don't use it. So what is something like this like process wise? Because I know it reminds me of like when people would take early glitch art, right? And would go in and literally like mess up cameras and digital cameras and like find all and like purposefully mess with transistors to get effects that look like this. But I don't know what that process looks like.
Yeah.
So any of that? Touch Designer is a node-based design tool. So having the video in there as one individual element, I actually had the code from the Satari, like the shader. Basically, almost think of it as a video filter, and you can create shaders that do virtually anything. And I have a shader that I designed. It's just a couple hundred lines of JavaScript, and all it does is break the scene up into a grid. It assigns different color values, like it samples it for color values, and there's a bunch of, Twitter isn't doing or X isn't doing the best job with compression and stuff, but there's a bunch of individual symbols and stuff in there. And so setting an individual set of conditions for how this shader overlays and modifies the underlying media. What's really cool about Touch Designer, even though it's like kind of a pain to use at first, but literally I didn't know what I was doing. So I would just like screenshot it, throw it into Claude and be like, how do I make it do a thing? And said, I want to use this shader over top this video. Can we do that? And literally like just step by step, having Claude serve as like my tutorial generator. And anytime I'd throw an error message, I would just drop that in there. And literally we're at a time where anyone can do anything. Like it is, there's no tool, there's no process that is like, everything is figure outable at this point. So what's cool about the setup I have now with Touch Designer is like, I can swap out any media at any time, whether it's still images or video, and get this same effect in a way that in the past would have taken me like a lot of time in After Effects or any other tool like that. So
how much control? Sorry.
I was gonna say, are you pulling keys to get it to isolate these, or is it like tracking motion? Like how do you make it so that people are one color versus the background?
So the shader itself has a set of variables. It's literally just contrast ranges. So I have levers on the back end where I don't know if you've ever like live traced anything in Illustrator or something like that, right? Where you can slide and kind of set like the intensity or the thickness of the dark area. It's that, and just by tinkering with the variables, there's just like a few levers that you can pull, and just in doing that, find a way for it to highlight in on the people, or highlight the people the way you want. Like you can kind of isolate that range of contrast. So that's, and the imperfection of it. That's like, I think that's the beautiful part. That's my favorite shot of the whole. The people standing on the beach. There is my favorite shot of the whole, because that was the first one I actually did, and was like, oh, there's something, like it's actually kind of working. And the way the wave breaks, I think I cut out the way that whole clip works. Like that second wave there that breaks, the whole thing kind of lights up color wise, and
almost like a phosphorescent, like
like
bioluminescent,
bioluminescent waves. So it's one of the coolest things to see in real life ever. But yeah. So. Yeah.
And you're no stranger to making art that looks like, it's got a lot of code going on, or a lot of symbols in it. Like this piece that looks at a glance, from, like a gradient, but then you really get in there and you're like, oh, this is some wild stuff.
It's got your seed phrase in it. It's got everyone's seed phrase in it. This is my first piece that I released in like the NFT space that had any. That really like took off. Every seed phrase pulls from the same list of 2048 words called the BIP 39 word list. And I took every single one of those words. This is a 45 by 45 grid. There's a little bit of like overlap, or some words spill into other, but for the most part, it's about a 45 by 45 grid. And then I tried to make the words look like the thing. So the word, you see the clock there, looks like a clock, the word flower, and then the word stem down below it, and the word fire off to the right, the word record in the lower left there. Like there's a bunch of Easter eggs in that way. And this was just done in Procreate by hand it was about 200 hours of just like sitting and obsessing over.
So you just had the list, and you would just check them off the list as you went.
I printed the list. And so I had just some sort of way I could cross things off as I went, and used this iPad and broke it at the very end, which was nice. But just sat with this and an Apple Pencil, and went through it and released it as a 24-hour open edition. I'm actually gonna. I want to like sweep these, but I want to announce it. So maybe this is me announcing that I'm going to sweep these because there's only like 8 or 9 listed, and I don't have any to give away at this point, and I want to do that. So I got really lucky in the day that this came out. Zeneca was a prominent figure back in the day. I think about halfway through the mint, Zeneca gave it some flowers, and it went from 100 mints to 300. And then in the final 2 or 3 hours, X Copy had snagged one, and it went from 300 to 800 mints. So, wow. And the thing I'm proud of is that at least the ownership spread has been really high. I mean, it's in 500 or 600 in unique wallets, and they haven't moved too much over the last couple of years. But it's truly like it. I like that it rewards people that take 2 seconds. I think a lot of the work that I put out, I like things that reward people that like just take a little bit of time and dive a little deeper. Like right now, it looks like a reasonable gradient, like it's fine. But anyone who zooms in on the thing and you start to piece things together, like that's the kind of work that lights me up the most, I think.
Yeah, that's cool. Kind of like how you find your people, right? Like as an artist, when you've got something and you find the people who take the time to deep dive, whether it's to learn about the piece or to literally just zoom in and sit with the piece. This would be amazing as a print or a cloth print or something. This feels like a blanket. I don't know, wrapped up in a. I need to
do some. We did a round of prints at one point. I want to do another round. We actually had 2 different colorways that I had produced. I have a couple of these somewhere. For anyone listening, like first person to, I don't know, drop me a DM or whatever, I'll send you a print of one because they're, like why not? Let's do some fun stuff. Let's do some fun stuff.
And this is the first official good stuff in the middle of an episode there. Look at that. All right, that's some alpha right there for anybody who was paying attention, and it rewards people who are, right. There's,
always.
It's awesome, man. You've got, speaking of rewarding people paying attention, you've got a new project on the horizon, and I got to sit with it last night, and I both equally loved it and didn't understand it, and but also appreciated it, if that makes sense. And I would love to show it here, and I don't know that it's been really shown before.
No, this is Let's show this.
Satari.
Satari.
Here it is.
Let's do it.
Look at this thing.
Okay. So
walk us through.
Satari Must Die. I started, actually, Bryan and I met in October in Marfa. As I was driving away from Marfa, I had this idea of like, what the space needs more than anything is another PFP. And
here.
And I wanted to do something a little bit different, and set out to create these kind of animated generative portraits of these masked characters. If you hit the cycle button on the right there, next to seed, you can see.
I love the way these reveal. Let me tell you, I watched them all last night, and I was just mesmerized.
Yeah.
One did it, 2 did it. I'm like, do they all start in silhouette and then reveal? They do.
They do.
Look at that.
If you hit, I don't know how well it'll do on the stream right now, but the little grid box up top. Yeah, you were there. Up again. There you go. You can see a couple. And they actually render at slightly different grid widths when they're smaller like this. So you lose a little detail, but it increases how easy they are to render. So like they'll show up good on a phone and things like that. But these are designed to be fully on chain, fully like no external dependencies of any kind. I started with these as like a P5JS was the culprit. My like partner in crime working on this thing, and then got to a place where it was like, hey, I want to make this. I ended up creating what you call like a micro shim of P5JS. Like I gutted all the parts of P5JS that I used, and so these things ultimately will be once they reach their final state, and there's even some parts of this that even poking around that you haven't seen. And actually, Brian, I don't even know. I think maybe we talked about, but there will be ways to modify and change these. Users will have an opportunity to change these. The title itself is a slight, I don't know, it leans itself towards hinting at what might happen. But these are pure code-based, living, breathing entities. And at some point from last October till now, they went from just being outputs to like characters I started really giving a shit about and wanting to see, wanting to create a world around. So I think Brian, part of the reason we're even here, right? Brian was pivotal in becoming one of the first artists that we have a few artists that kind of created complementary pieces to the collection. And if you go to the culture tab on the left there, this is like a sneak peek for anyone. And basically,
oh my goodness.
Yeah, like if you click on any of them, yeah, there's Brian's. Brian, it cycles through one that you did, the big ring is like my favorite. It's one of my favorite states of your
click
piece.
It, Adam, it should change.
No,
maybe.
I'm clicking.
Maybe not. This might just be
it's like every 5 seconds or so, it'll cycle through one, right?
Yeah.
But is it supposed to be click? Is it supposed to be click?
I think there is a way to force a cycle, but I forget.
Okay. But it's fantastic. So basically, I asked a bunch of artists if a Satari walked into your world, what would they look like? The Udo one's just ludicrous.
Yeah.
The Sway Molina one, which Sway is just, he's at the very bottom. There you go. There's Sway's. This one, if it'll load up.
My computer's like, what are you doing right now?
Right, there's a lot happening.
I got a lot of live code running.
Yeah.
That is very true. It's very true. This piece by Sway's an incredible artist. Anyways, this collection, having like a complimentary collection of these, will all be auctioned off. All the proceeds will go to each individual artist. But I really wanted to build a lot of storytelling, a lot of lore. When I started with this, I started with just the art and got the art to a place where I was really happy. Then I started thinking about the mechanics, got the mechanics to a place where I was happy, and I still had time and hadn't released it. Like it was the market was down in March or so, and it was like, surely it will go up from here. So we'll wait until things get better. But
if you wait until things get better, we'll never release anything. You'll think they're better, and then you'll realize they're not. It's you just put the work out when it's ready. Speaking of that, I do see that some of these are unassigned. Does that mean you're still searching or working with artists or looking for artists?
Yeah, very, very much so. The one I will share here, Modest is doing a piece for the collection, though hasn't selected which one. But we finally got a chance to connect and got high praise from Modest, which meant a whole lot. And but honestly, Brian was one of the catalysts. Like, I don't know, you sat with it for a while. I think we talked for a couple weeks on like, well, maybe maybe I can contribute something. And I know, like, I don't know, just you being as busy as you have been and in space as long as you have, like, your context for collaborating with others and doing things like that. Like, I know it's not something to be taken lightly. So I'm grateful. As soon as I had you on board, it just got easier to get other people on board. And
he does do that. He tends to,
which is why he wasn't like, I don't know. I feel like I got a pretty decent roster before you committed, and yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
It was fun to be, like, as you see, my piece is very inspired by what you did. So it was fun to kind of like look at what you did and like, how can I build a similar kind of live code interactive variant that still feels a little bit like me, but also like yours. So it's always a fun challenge.
Yeah.
But really, I mean, being able to, like you said, sitting with what you've been building for a while, and then also, getting to see your previous work that we saw at Marfa, which I thought, it evokes a lot of nostalgia that time since I like to do. I mean, the one you had at Marfa reminded me of like Rad Racer on Nintendo that I played growing up, because there used to be, if you press the select button, you could get 3D glasses mode, which was like a Reddit version of it.
Yes.
And so it took me to that, which is very obscure, but
I love
exactly what you're saying.
I've had a long running. I mean, I grew up in the era of Super Nintendo. My neighbors had a Nintendo growing up, but my first real system was a Super NES, and Top Gear was the game for me. I was very I don't know. So this, like, Star Fox as well, huge inspiration, right?
That just came out today, the new one.
Yeah, I can't. Like, I got things to do. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that.
It's pretty fun.
It looks stunningly beautiful. I'm also, man, I've been reading a lot. I would highly recommend this book. It's The Making of Prince of Persia by Jordan Mechner. Reading a lot about the history of video game industry, because so many parallels between what's been happening with digital art, where it's like cataclysm, or it like exploded early on and it was everywhere, and then this cataclysmic fallout, and now the industry is better than it's ever been. And to read those parallels, like in the darkest time, like Prince of Persia has sold 25 million copies. It's one of the greatest selling franchises of all time. He launched it. He was literally going like, should I just be a screenwriter, and going like, maybe I can get this one game out before the industry's fully dead. That's when Tetris came out. That's when Nintendo launched the NES. Like, people, like these times. These times are when the most interesting things happen.
Other side was our industry's ET cartridge.
Legally, I'm not allowed to comment.
You got to push but you have to push the limits to see what the limits are.
Of course,
right?
Of course,
and then you got to keep going. I mean, I think that's a beautiful parallel, especially because it's full of hopium for the industry. But can you imagine if people looked at Tetris and said, like, I guess we're kind of done. I guess that's it. We're not going to do it anymore. But the people who push past, man, like, that's, I don't know. I wish that it was a more sustainable space for the moment that would allow more artists to just stick around. I understand the ones who wanted to but couldn't stay. Not trying to give a pass to the people who very clearly extracted, but for the people who have stuck around. There's not a ton of us, but there's always more people than I realize, right? And I think the long road to that is building something that's bigger than all of us. And I think it's really cool to see stuff like this continue to push forward.
It's so inspiring. I mean, honestly, like, anyone who's been here and consistently put, like, the fact that you guys have done the show as long as you have, right? Brian, the waves you've seen, talking with Coldy, talking with, like, anyone who's been through, I was part of the class of 21, right? Like, Dave Beeple's shit went ballistic, I think was my date of entry. And to be here now and to have been through a cycle or two, or, to have been a community member and then team member at Proof, and to watch that arc, and just appreciate the history and lineage and things that have happened in the space, and know that, like, I've really enjoyed the kind of quiet time. And it was, I think, that first piece, what was the Moments in Time piece, that it was Art Blocks and Edward, I can't remember his name. It was the first piece in a minute that had, like, gone fully.
Manuel.
And, yeah. Great piece, but it, like, I had honestly forgotten that the, like, just number go up crowd. And, like, I remember seeing a tweet where Eli had reached out to someone. He's like, what is it that you like about this collection? They're like, I don't care, numbers going up. And, like, 8 or 9 people said that same thing, and it was like, man, I didn't miss this. Like, that was kind of,
at least they were saying number go up about a legit great piece of art,
Mm-hmm.
not some like garbage
very true.
thing.
Yeah, it's that we got to take the wins where we can get them. My gosh,
That's very true. On the piece on the
progress.
The piece on the right here, I love the speed and chaos. So some go really slow, some go pretty fast. If you zoom in, I don't know if you can zoom in on the screen there, but like there's a tremendous amount of detail happening code wise. Will it let
that's
you?
the
Will it let you
opposite
zoom?
of zooming. I have a plus and it gets smaller. It makes everything else bigger except for what we want.
That's bizarre. Okay,
you got to build
passed,
in a zoom function.
I had built this site fully independently, and initially was going to launch with OpenSea, then had conversations with Artblocks, and ultimately Transient Labs is the partner I'll be releasing this with. They now have at least some control over the site. So I know they're like making some improvements and modifications. Apparently, zoom out to zoom in is one improvement that they may have.
I mean, that could just be like, yeah. So that's me just literally zooming on the website, but like you can, they might be able to add like a feature. I know Silverware now has like zoom into the artwork, and that's one of the things that we love doing on the show, especially because like the details on here, you're right, are phenomenal. Sure. And before we move on, it's just sort of what under the hood, right, to make something like this. Are you drawing anything like the form for these, and then saying within and then coding? Or I know you're talking about using Claude and all these other things, but like really, how do you arrive at something like this?
So this started. The only thing that's like really drawn the 24 forms, like the silhouettes, archetypes. Those I did really quickly in Illustrator, or just a vector-based program. I click the points. They're actually like imperfect by design. They're not perfectly symmetrical, and part of that is the shader picks up different things different ways. I wanted a bit of a human touch in it, so I started with those, like just with the forms, the masks, and everything else that renders is all done through code. So the shape of the mask, you'll see like this one's got, it's got kind of weird angular things going on. It's not a perfect oval or anything like that. Those, that's all driven by code. The ways the masks fill in, there's 10 or 11 different energies, ways that the mask can fill in. And it's eternal, it's endless, right? So, but this is all, it's rendering frame by frame. So I think the actual algorithm is 7,000 or so lines of code that renders each one of these, like every single frame. I think they're running 24 frames per second or so now, just to save on computation a bit. But I really like these black and white variants. They were the last ones to add, but they're it started all P5JS, and that was just, I've backed my way into knowing a decent amount of JavaScript at this point, but working hand in hand with Claude, getting stuck and figuring out what levers I can pull manually, figuring out what changes I can make manually, and then having help from any of the I think I started this with the help of GPT, and then moved over to Claude when Claude got a lot better at code. So that's the underlying, like that's the core of it. But these will start on IPFS, and there'll be some Oracle to handle transferring of traits in certain ways, and then the final resting state will be fully in chain or on chain, and fully self-contained is the ultimate goal.
I dig it. I have an idea after seeing this.
Yeah.
What if you turn that black and white one? It looks like a crossword puzzle. Make a crossword puzzle that people have to complete in order to get allow list.
Brian! Oh my God, Brian! I'm so excited to show you. Okay, we haven't. The absurdity of that idea is not far off from the allow list experience that I've made. I am going to do so. I've given a lot of thought to the allow list, and I'll have to show you guys like after. But there's an allow list experience of sorts that's around 8 to 10 minutes. If anyone goes to satarimustie.com, you can enter your email. You can watch a little trailer. You can enter your email. You guys already see what's behind the password wall there, but drop your email in, and you'll be notified when the allow list experience opens. The allow list experience will be 8 to 10 minutes. It's an experience. Like, anyone can go through it. Anyone can get on the allow list. But I kind of wanted to prevent bots a little bit, so I created something that takes a little bit of time.
Love this.
Yeah, I thought that trading card thing would be a way to weed out bots on my site.
Did it?
No, they still fake. I got like 6,000 entries on that thing. I'm using AI to like source out which ones are fake, and it's like removed like over half of them.
Back in 2021, I put out a project, and I was trying to do an allow list, and this is again 21 and the height of the froth, and I put out a Google naively. I put a Google form on X and said, if anyone's interested. I really didn't think it would hit, and I got 40,000. I couldn't even look at it. 40,000, and I looked and I went, okay, yeah, well, that didn't work. I couldn't even possibly find any humans in there.
Well, that happened with Asterism's drop he did recently on OpenSea, and he got 40,000 allow lists. And he was showing me, he was like, I used Claude and I used these prompts, and basically you can run like some Python scripts that will like do some filtering essentially.
I would say I severely underestimated the creative problem solving of anyone willing to set up bots and things like that. I did a treasure hunt in 2022, and we sold passes that were soul bound because you had a limited number of kind of guesses you could enter each day into our site, and people figured out how to spin up synthetic passes so that they could place more. I mean, it's just like the people that were sitting in the Discord were like doing bug bounties for Amazon and for banks and shit while they were waiting for the next day's clue. Like severely outgunned. But it was a very healthy realization that like, yeah, there's some ridiculously talented people.
Even the drop I did in Lisbon, when I opened it to the public, the UI had a limit of 1 per wallet, but someone used a bot and was able to trick the contract, and they minted 5 into a single transaction, which broke 5 of them because they were based on the transaction hashes. And so that was my lesson. Like, I'll have to have
I mean,
so there's 5 duplicates in the collection that I'm trading people for new mints.
That's crazy.
You just gotta hand it to them. Honestly, there's a part of me that wants to specifically make a project for the bots. You know, just lean into this side of it and say, you want to get on this allow list, you're gonna have to have
a bot race.
It's a bot race, and it's just for them. There you go. You know, I don't know. It could be fun.
Nice.
Yeah. Speaking of just like other artists trying to get their art out there and get over the bots out there, I think it might be a good time to do a little show and tell. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I'm here for it.
Do it. Here we go. All right. Brian, can you hear me?
Yep.
Amazing. Okay, this is the part of the show where each of us has brought 3 pieces of work we either collected or just think is really dope and want to raise some of these artists up. And so that's what we're going to do. We haven't seen what everyone else has brought, and it's kind of like going around and learning more. At the end of the show, we will post all the things that we've seen today on our Art First show on Twitter, and you guys can give artists some love and maybe even pick up a piece or two. All right, Phraze, we're going to start with you, dude. Here is this very beautiful and surreal piece. And I apologize again, there's audio, but it's not going to come through here, but people are encouraged later to take a look. This from Sway Molina, I Am Cloud, and I'll play this and you can talk about why you
This Sway is probably, I mean, he's one of my favorite AI artists out there. This piece and his work, he literally has a brand called Absurd. So he typically works on things that are visually shocking. And but this piece was a bit different. It's like a day. It's like a cloud having like a mundane day in the life, and there's a really kind of somber music going alongside it. The cloud's very contemplative, but it was just like, although it's fantastical in visual, right? It's not. It wasn't over the top. It felt really restrained and restricted, and for I don't know, for anyone to kind of pick something as abstract as a cloud and make me feel something. It was like, yeah, this guy is magic. He's going places. I've been able to work with Sway on a few projects. He's just one of the good ones. And this piece was, it's my current, I lost out on this auction. I have a few of his one-on-ones. I lost out on this one. It's the one that got away and forever will be. So yeah, that's Ironclad by Sway. But all his work, like he's gone viral on Instagram a few times, and then people find out it's AI and they get all mad at him. And so he's still bridging. I don't know. It's like, of course, all his work is AI. So I don't know why he gets any hate from anyone, but I do love his style, and I love where he's going, and I think he's going to be one to watch over the next few years. I think Claire Silver put a competition together, and this one was a finalist or winner in that competition for AI art. So yeah,
it's also beautiful that it's yeah, it is gorgeous, and it's emotionally resonant. And I know it's AI, but there's also, well, I think you put it best when you said it shows restraint, right? It's not AI for AI's sake. There's so much AI that is interesting out there, but it's just fast and hits you and you're like, oh, it's so in my face. This is showing storytelling and takes its time, and it's beautiful, honestly. And if you had said this is not AI, this is all CG, or this was filmed and composited with CG, or a mix of the two, it easily could be any of those things. And I think it shows really great execution of an idea.
Yeah. Yeah,
Very
he's
cool.
yeah, I couldn't agree more.
I'm just putting good stuff on there.
Perfect.
I like that there's rain or like condensation and like all the shots outdoors.
Yeah, it's so much of generative art in particular, right? But like art in general, I think artists early in their career are trying so hard to make something either look cool or they have something that they've created that's like visually stunning, but if there's no why behind what they made, even if the why comes after, that's fine. But if they can't kind of attach a narrative to it, or if it doesn't come to mean anything, then it's just like, yeah, you made a cool thing. I don't know. It just doesn't. That's a dime a dozen. That's so easy. It's so easy now to create something that's like visually stunning, without any intent or message behind it. But if you can find a way to kind of craft a narrative around it, it becomes like it reaches another level entirely.
Totally agreed. All right, Brian, you're up next here. Let's talk about, let's go with this piece here. I love this piece. I did not pick this one up.
Nice.
It is so good.
So this is by Jiwa. I traded him cards, but also I got to see him in Lisbon. He had a great booth. But this is a piece he recently did for the memes, and it's all live code of this. Is it Magritte? I forget the artist. Seurat, I think. There's the original painting, but then he made it so that it organically bleeds, except for the Pepe chilling.
It's so pretty. I feel like, and maybe I'm a little bit mistaken, but when it came out and it was going to be for the memes, I could have sworn he either made the piece prior or I had seen it, or it just felt so familiar. Obviously, I know the reference, is familiar, but the bleeding, when I saw this, it was like, oh yeah, I know that piece. Like it just, it's something.
It might have been hanging in the voting for a while or something.
Maybe, yeah. I love it. I love just how
Yeah.
big fan of Jiwa's work. So this is a great one.
A Sunday afternoon on the island of La Grande Jatte is the reference, right?
Yeah.
I just looked it up. Surat. Surat's most famous work.
Yeah.
Got it on the second guess.
Yeah. first try.
Good stuff. All right. I'm gonna keep moving along here. Okay, let's go back. Let's stay within inside of moving pixels, and go to this piece I picked up here. This is Portraits by Sem Hassimi. I loved this collection. I saw this one coming. I was not on the allow list as I had not yet had the opportunity to collect his work, but I threw a bid in knowing secondary was going to be a thing, and I was like, let's get one of these bots to fork it over early on. It's such a stunning collection. And he created a viewer where you can like upload on your own, like his own, he made a microsite for it where you upload your own photo and you can do all these things to your photo to make it look like this ahead of time. Cool. And then but this collection, it's I don't know, it just feels extra special. And every time he was putting one of these out, I was also in the process, and still am, in like doing my own fun thing where I'm making like dailies, and he was posting these, and that was just so inspiring to see all of them. And they all have different traits in terms of how they move and how they are affected, and he built all the back end to do that with. It's so cool.
Did he record the process? Like it looks like Three.js, but do you know if he shared how he created those?
I don't know if he shared how he made them. We should probably get him on the show and talk about it, honestly.
They're really cool.
The back end, let's see if I can even go to it. Let's see if it's attached here. See the website up? I don't think so. No. But I'll see if I can find it. It's really cool because in real time, like I said, on that website, you could put an image in and you could just use these effectors and different, how many pixel count and what colors and what, a wave effect or a ripple effect would do. And it would just in real time create these. And then he locked in basically a curated version. I don't know exactly what images he used to start with to get here. But yeah, really cool.
Yeah, that's great.
I'm jealous. I was on the allow list, but I wasn't at a place where I could mint when it but
yeah, I only got one, but it felt worth it if I'm being, I love the one I got.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, too cool.
All right.
It's always cool seeing how he keeps expanding his style in different modes, from hand-drawn animation to AI to code
to sculptures even, right? Like he's doing it all, man. It's very good stuff. All right, here we go. We're gonna go back to speaking of abstracted portrait related work, let's go here.
Oh man,
let's go here. There's a nice segue here. What am I looking at right here?
Peterson's art,
Frequency 02. You got here.
Peterson. It's crazy. I don't know if you can go to his Twitter account, but there is. He used I think it's called an oscilloscope.
Yeah.
He took a photo. Okay, so it should be pinned right there for no one. This is. As soon as I saw, first of all, I love when artists document their process. And then when their process is like just mind blowing, this stuff, I don't know. I think it's incredible. He took photos, dropped them into this oscilloscope, then recorded with that old camera, the actual outputs.
Wow.
And this is how he created the collection. This is the first collection. I mean, it's not hard to throw your weight around on Tezos, right? But this is the first collection that I have a full set of. I as soon as I saw his process and how he created these, I was hooked. I actually asked him to be a part of Satari. He's creating a piece for that, which is great. But
Amazing.
I was just I know people go back and forth on whether an artist should document the process or the piece should stand alone. To me, sharing this the way he did, and the whole process to set all this stuff up, like it's just, I think it warrants sharing the process. I think you have a deeper appreciation for this collection, having known how much effort and time went into it. And the piece itself, I mean, the pieces itself pretty are fantastic. I was able to scoop all of them except for one, and then one I had to just like keep throwing higher offers at until they eventually accepted. But really, I mean, that's the one. That was the one that took me forever to get. But how good is that?
It's pretty amazing the energy you get out of a still image.
It's so good. Like I love. Again, I know, and we're running the gamut, you know, from generative AI to, you know, the most, you know, amount of tech needed to put this together. I love this analog approach here. It's so good. Look at that. There's so much appreciation.
Shout out to Peterson's art. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, yep.
I was unaware of Peterson's game.
Yeah.
That's it. Well, and this was one of those, I put out a thing where it was like, I'm buying Tezos. Like, man, it's one of my favorite things to do. Is like, I'm buying art on Tezos. Like, shill me your stuff. And I got hundreds of responses. He was one of the earliest people to respond, and I was just like immediately hooked. And went and swept a bunch of pieces. And
I love buying art on Tezos. I do. I can sit there and it's affordable, but some of it is so incredible, and I'm like, okay, yeah, that's an easy buy right there. Thank you. I'll love that. Yes.
Yeah, it really. I like all the work I've
fun.
collected on Tezos. I'll never sell any of the work I've collected on Tezos. It's just like, I don't know. When I look at the vaults I have for ETH and Tezos, like it doesn't even come close to me. Like Tezos is, and there's so many great art. Like so many great artists started there. Or I've always wanted to release a collection on Tezos, maybe someday after this coming one. But I don't know. There's something about it, and I know the chain itself has, you know, no chain is without its
nothing is perfect.
Shortcomings or whatever. But it's pretty neat. I just set my kids up with their own Tezos account to start releasing work on their own.
Oh, wow.
And so every day they're kind of like, can we put this on the account? Can we put this on? It's like, yeah, like let's do it. Like it's on there forever, man. It's on there forever. So
very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Good stuff, man. All right, Bryan, you're up next, sir. Like this piece here. This piece is a little darker.
So this one, I would say, if you can go into the metadata and look at the live art, which I think I might have sent you the link in our chat.
I'll take a look. Let's see. In our private chat or in our
Discord
private chat.
I think right after I sent this, I said,
"Go here, you silly goose." All right.
These are such expensive. Like you guys realize this is like an expensive show to join, because now it's like I've already seen. It's like, well, I got to go get a portrait piece, and now like I'm looking at this and I'm captivated.
Yeah.
It's like, thanks, man. Thanks for giving me.
Well, Adam pulls that up. This is Panther Cheetah, who is an awesome artist. This is the conclusion of her second year of the 12, which was the inspiration for Brinkworks, which is 12 collectors all paid to collect her work. And basically she created this work, which is an interactive painting that has a bunch of paintings within it. And so those little red dots will pop up and give you a hint of where you can click. And so if you go over to it, you can see each one of these is its own painting within. So it's like a 13-in-1 painting.
Are these actual paintings?
Digital. Well, some of them,
digital
I think these are all digital, but she also does physical as well.
This is fantastic.
So each one has its own in and out points.
These are awesome.
This is ridiculous.
So it was a really cool kind of conclusion of her experiments for the year.
Whoa. This is the part of the show where it's quiet because we're all fixated on the art that we're viewing. My favorite part, to be honest. Oh my goodness.
It's such a good find, man. I mean, like, that's great.
So
I haven't seen this execution before either. Like, it's a clever way to present something.
It feels almost like when Sam did his piece where you would click an area to zoom into, right?
Mm-hmm.
That kind of a feeling. But I love the idea. So what? So all of you got this main one and your single piece?
Well, this is an edition, so we all got this edition,
right?
And then on top of that, we all get to mint a one of one separate from these works.
So, wow!
I got that as well, but I thought this was a more that one is a straight up singular piece, similar to kind of like this one.
Yeah.
But this one, I thought the execution of it was more novel to show on the show because it's really interesting.
It's great. It's
so really good.
Yeah, she's crushing it. I'm excited to see.
For her.
She's about to roll out probably the third iteration of the 12, which I think will have a new kind of dynamic to it. So I'm excited for that and to see who will be a part of that in the next round.
Good, man. This is good for her. I love that. This is really cool. I know I'm not in the 12, but I love the evolution of it. I've been paying attention to it.
Yeah.
It's really cool. All right, we're going to keep moving. We have a few more to go through. Here is speaking of pieces with lots to look at. I do not own this piece, but I did find it really fascinating. I believe it's called sadface.jpg.
Okay, even though there's a happy face in it.
Yep. Sadface.jpg from, I believe, an upcoming release on Object. But I love pieces that deal in nostalgia and mixed media. Looks like we have crayon and we have cut paper and we've got
MS Paint.
Yeah, all of this. And I know I'm doing this like zoom in here, but look at that. This is, I don't know how it was made. I don't know if it's a manual, if it's AI, if it's a mix. It feels very homespun and hand done, and I don't know. I'm a big fan. Grabenshi, if I'm saying it right. Again, not familiar, but found it. Part of the joy of this show is I go looking for artists that I don't know, and then I can help share. And I was just enamored with this.
Is this just browsing Object or Twitter, or how do you find new artists generally?
So this was browsing Object. I used to browse Foundation back in the day. I used to browse what was the one? Their offshoot. My brain is farting, but that was Rodeo, for what it's worth, for a little while was phenomenal for just finding new artists and clicking through. Especially if you follow different collectors that you maybe like looked up to. But this was going through Object, and I think it's an upcoming collection. Nice. This is going to be a Dutch or English auction. Ghost of the Brush is the exhibition that's coming. Cool. I think next month, early next in July. But definitely worth checking out. Because awesome. Ghost of the Brush right here. This is the exhibition that's going to be coming up.
Love it.
And a bunch of different artists in there. But this piece was really, really awesome. So hopefully, people can go and find more info.
I'm a big fan of the word poo being an art.
That's the first thing I saw.
That's why I was drawn to it, guys.
It is the first thing you see because it's like it pops.
It is.
And right above it, I know it doesn't say it, but it looks like it says margaritas. I was like, all right.
Poo and margaritas. I mean, that's early 20s right there. Sums up.
That's great.
All right. Very cool. Very cool. Let's keep going. The last piece here that you've got to share. Plinths.
Man, Pac-Man Scoop is an incredible human. When I was working at Proof, I had budget to like, I don't know, throw at artists for random stuff. And Pac lives in Hong Kong. He had sent the team these ledger holders. But they're like machined out of cut marble and CNC'd brass pit. Like his execution of physical objects. I've done a lot of work with physical objects in the past. To the highest level. He runs a design studio that supplies lighting fixtures and other objects to hotels in London and the US. And he's just a remarkably gifted craftsperson. And we did that project with him, introduced him to the team at Glitch, or he got to know the team at Glitch. And they commissioned a series of five or six of these like locker-sized objects, and this debuted in Marfa as his like Genesis drop, and it was these physical pieces that they had I don't know if you guys saw or Brian, I don't know if you made it to the presentation of these, but there's an interpretive dancer, there was all these lights. It was this whole range of emotions that were experienced or portrayed through these objects, and it was amazing to see. Like it was just 7 of these. It was amazing to see in person. I think they were halfway sold out in Marfa. I think they've all since sold out. Mm-hmm. But I think one of the things I love most about this space is because it's so new, and because digital art and on-chain art is such a new idea in general. It attracts people from all walks of life. Like the fact that I'm friends with a furniture designer in Hong Kong, you know what I mean? Like that, mm-hmm. How else would that have ever happened? And the fact that he was open to this idea of creating these objects they're physical first, but then ultimately digital objects. That takes a way of thinking that I think is just fascinating. So while this is his only collection so far, under Hash Inc., which is the pseudonym that he uses there, I can't wait to see what he does. Like I think he's a really thoughtful and talented creator, and even seeing this, like getting to meet him for the first time after interacting with him for a year or two back at Proof was a real treat. So I love how he shows up and the things he's doing in space, and it's just one of those things. Like we need people trying weird things and different things, and it helps us, I think, all appreciate I don't know, anyone taking a chance with things. So that's Pac's work.
That's awesome. Yeah, that was such a highlight of Marfa. I missed the presentation part of it, but I remember seeing some of the works.
Very cool, man.
Yeah, can't wait to see. I can't wait to see what he does next. I mean, that's it's a good dude. It's a good dude for sure.
That's amazing. So I think I remember seeing some photos from the event of just the physicals and going, "What is that?"
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very cool. Well, speaking of Marfa, thank you for that little tee up there, Brian. This piece here is a commemorative poster for the upcoming event.
Marfa. This is one. I got lucky, and I was minted number 1 because I was quick to the draw. Nice. But I wanted to give a shout out. Speaking of how wonderful Marfa was, the next Marfa is coming up, and Art Blocks put out this generative poster collection that is very cheap, but it's a way for them to raise some money to like throw some of the events and stuff. And you can look through the collection. All the posters are a little different. I'm not sure which artist was behind it, but just a fun little collection as a way to raise some money for Art Blocks. So I just want to give a shout out and let people know they can go over to Art Blocks and support it. And hopefully I'll look forward to seeing everybody at Marfa this year.
Very cool, man.
Very good. Dollar for dollar, there's nothing more valuable, I think, for an artist in the space than going to Marfa. Like it is it's incredible the doors it can open and the people you collide with because it's such a small town and takes a pilgrimage to get out there.
It's on my list.
This year, get out there this year.
It took me like 5 years to finally make it.
Yeah, I'm in year 3 trying to get it. It falls a little bit close to my kid's birthday. So I have to make sure that I'm not gonna. It's one of those things, right? I'm not gonna miss my kid's birthday, but then at some point he might be old enough that I'll just say, "Hey, let's bring him for your birthday."
Yeah,
But we're, it's very cool. I appreciate what's going on out there, and I'm gonna make it there eventually.
There you go.
All right, we have. I got one more piece on my end, I think. 1, 2, 3. Last but not least, I'm going to give some flowers to former guest of the show, friend of the show, F. Dot, with his glyphs, short for hieroglyphs, into the glyph nation. It's awesome. This is mine, and I can say that with extra confidence because not only did I mint it, I got to customize it, because for a few weeks, one of the cool things that I had not seen done before is you were given basically a grid. Some of them were 1-of-1s, and then there was like a 2 up, 4 up, 6 up, 8 up, a bunch. And you got to go on a site, a little microsite that he built, and sit there and tinker. And he had, all these different things you could choose from to make your grid and your GIF, and you could tell your own story. Or I would imagine there were people who were trying to gamify it at some point, and they were like, well, what do you think would sell? I know I had one, so I just said, you know what, I'm just going to make it. Like whether I ever sell it or not, probably not, but I was like, what's the, what do I want to tell? And I went through it and I sat with it. And again, like Phraze, like to your point, art that forces you to sit with it. And I could have just clicked 4 things and been like, cool, I made my piece. But that's not what I'm here for, man. I sat there for a while in a much needed time of distraction. So I very much shout out to F. Dot for making a really awesome project. And he got a lot of love out there in Lisbon with OpenSea and all that. But
in New York. Yeah. No, I felt it was fun. I got to mint and then also stand next to him mid-mint. It's always fun to experience the chaos and the stress in those moments. But it sold out. He was a real star of Lisbon. Worked with OpenSea. I got. I don't know if I have it somewhere. Here.
I couldn't find that. To the city. I minted one of these. I made a
tile.
Yeah. That's so good. That's so good.
The tiles, the OpenSea tiles. So
and
good.
Then we got to see it in New York. And it took me longer than I'd like to admit to realize you could scroll down on the glyph site to see more options.
300. There were 300 to choose from.
And that's why I sat with it.
9 options.
Right.
And then I was like, oh, okay. So I don't know. Have they locked in yet? I forget.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I did. I got mine with the last 20 minutes to go. I posted. I think one of my latest tweets. I made it's like a dude at a concert type thing.
I kept pushing it off because I was like, I know I'm going to spend time with it, and I didn't have the time or the brain space to sit with it. And I waited until the day of, and then they extended it by a day or so. But I waited until the end because I'm like, I really want to sit with it. You were Phraze. You were going to say something about yours.
Oh, I think my latest tweet. I don't know if my Twitter's up or anything, but it's the one I minted and finally made something with, and that. It was a lot of fun. Shout out to Transient for making a smooth mint experience and exploration tool. Those guys are super talented.
Big shout out to Marco.
Yeah.
No, this was wonderful. I'm throwing good stuff on it. It was great. All of this stuff was great today. This was a ton of fun. I want to thank you for coming. And before we go, let us know what you want, if anything, to plug. We know what you've kind of got coming up. We heard the market's going to be totally fine and great soon, so that means that you can release this soon.
That's right.
But we'll give you a little bit of a last word here.
No, I'm grateful to spend time with you guys. I think what you're doing here is important, and it's I love that I get to go shopping now for new pieces. And yes, SatariMustDie.com is coming out. It'll be July 21st on the release, and there's going to be some funness happening before then. So, but really, just grateful to be here. Grateful to be talking with two creative people, and I hope that anyone, like, you know, if I collided with anyone that we haven't connected before, reach out. I love chatting with people about all this stuff, and if you're here making stuff and whatever, like, down to support, down to help, and yeah, really appreciate you though. This has been fun.
Dude, yeah, can't thank you enough, and thank you everybody out there who tuned in today, or if you're catching us on the replay while you're doing your laundry, we appreciate you as well. I'm going to post all the stuff up. It'll be up on our Art First show on Twitter. Go give it some love, show some artists some love, pick up some pieces, and until next time, remember, keep family above all, but then art first. All right. Take care, everybody. Brian, there you go. You like that?
Definitely
there
great
it
with
is.
the laundry people.
We'll catch you guys in the next one.